You're watching the Biker Protocol channel. Mwah.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Biker Protocol channel. I am Hollywood with Black Patch MC here in Las Vegas.
I am Picasso with the Eagle Riders MC, also here in Las Vegas. So, welcome to the channel.
Today we're talking about a question from a viewer.
I love his name.
Take the curse. What?
Read his name.
Yeah. Take the curse off washing machine. It's an interesting one. If you're watching this, take the curse off washing
I'm curious
machine.
what this is about.
Let us know why you said that.
That's such a great
It's an
name.
interesting one. Anyways, I'm curious if either of you guys were ever involved in a meeting with the 1% Club to get their approval. So I came to my club after all that, so I don't have a lot of knowledge on that. I have stories, of course, and what's been passed down, but I think you could probably have a better explanation or your side of what you guys have gone through.
Yeah, so it's a really interesting topic, and I think it's one that a lot of people don't talk about enough, only because it's kind of a secretive type of thing. And without going into detailed club business stuff, which we won't talk about, I can kind of explain the basics of what happened with us. So when we formed up as an MC, we were looking to, we went through all the protocols. We went and talked to all the neighboring clubs that we wanted to, but we wanted to really get permissions from the dominant 1% clubs. So we went to the biggest here in Vegas, and so we went and talked to them, and we had an audience with them, and in fact, the audience we had with them turned out to be a little bit larger than we thought. We actually wound up meeting with a variety of clubs at the same time, but it was primarily to kind of get approval from the big main club, right? So it was weird. We didn't really have a lot to prep for. We didn't really know what to expect, and so we just kind of went in and figured, well, let's stand our ground, right? So we'd been, kind of looking to get more established in the community, and we already had been. Our club had been around for a little while. But now we wanted to start looking, and at the time we wanted to start getting a bottom rocker put on, and so we wanted to get this more officialized at this point.
And if I may interject,
Yeah,
we do have videos of how to go about some of this process of starting a club. So definitely
absolutely check
out.
those out, and we're always going to be doing more of those. So because it's such an important topic in our community. So so what happened was we went in, and so we we weren't really sure what to expect. So there was a bunch of us, basically it was the whole board. So we had all of our officer corps there, and we went in, and so they said, all right, so what are you looking for? And we just kind of explained, here's our history. We've got bylaws. We've got, like we explained, like everything we've been doing for a while.
Yeah.
And now we wanted to kind of make this a little bit more solid in the community. Admittedly, we probably should have done it a little bit earlier than we did it, but it was not an issue. And so one of the things that was interesting was we kind of pled our case, and nobody interrupted us. They just kind of let us talk. And then the questions came. So we had a field about, I don't know, but I'd say about half an hour, 45 minutes of questions. And it was everything from how did your club form? Why did you make an MC as opposed to joining another MC? Like, these were valid questions that we had to answer. We had to have an answer for it. So, it's important that, if you're not intimately familiar with why your club's doing what you're doing, then maybe you shouldn't be making a club.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot to be said about being prepped for this and really truly understanding why you're doing what you're doing. Because one of the things that we see a lot is a tremendous amount of people want to start a club because they don't want to join somebody else's club.
Yeah,
they don't want to prospect. I think that's the number one.
We have videos on that as well.
We have videos on that as well. And I think that's the number one reason.
Yeah.
But there are other reasons, I think it's just sometimes it's laziness. Sometimes it's not wanting to prospect. Sometimes it's just five guys that just ride together and like, hey, let's make a patch.
And protocol either.
And they don't know the protocols, right? And we see that a lot. We see that a tremendous amount. So, but we weren't like that. We really knew what we were doing, but we just wanted to have an audience for it. And so, so that's what we did. So it was really just about fielding a lot of questions. And a lot of the questions were like, how do your bylaws right? How do your, like some stuff we could talk about, some things we could, some stuff we couldn't. But a lot of it was explaining, like, here's how we have everything structured. Here's our officer corps. Here's how long we've been doing it. Here's how we communicate with people in the community. And a lot of people that when we were there had already seen us at a lot of events.
Yeah.
So we weren't like just some pop-up that was like, hey, we just made a club yesterday where we want to get a patch.
Yeah.
So, and that's one of the things that's really important is when you're dealing with the dominant club, they want to know they want to know who you are before you show up for this, right?
Of course.
So
Yeah.
it's important to have that established that you are kind of working in the community and working within the protocols and they know you. And, they may not necessarily know you by individual names, but they know you as a club.
Yeah.
And that was a big deal. And so, I'm not gonna lie, it was a little scary going in. We got, I got a blessing right
Yeah.
there. And walking out, it was like, oh, that wasn't as bad as I thought. But we still got grilled a lot.
Yeah, I was
So
gonna say because what I can say for ours is even though you or we have gotten approval or whoever's gotten approval, it doesn't mean it stops there because there's other clubs that may have not been in on that
Right.
or they just want to make sure a couple months down, a year down, heck, 5 years down the road, make sure you're still in it. Excuse me. Make sure that you're still wanting to be a part of this community.
Yeah.
And so I would say, like, because I was around when we presented to COC,
Mhm.
and that was it's not a sit down per se. If you've been to a COC meeting, it's just a bunch of clubs together, and it's kind of um, letting all the clubs in that area, at least part of COC, know who you are and getting their approval as
Right.
well. There may or may not be one percenters in there or not, but that's one way also is because they'll grill you with questions and see what your patch is. You can
Mhm.
share that around. So that's probably one of the steps as well, which we've talked about.
Yeah.
Going to your local organization as well.
Yeah.
But so I,
Because that's a different type of presentation.
yeah.
So if you're let's say COC, and in Vegas here we have the COC and the MCA, it's
Yeah.
the two main organizations, right? But if you're going to go to them, you might be doing the same thing over again, but now you're dealing with 20 clubs,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you have to be prepared for that, and that's helpful in a different way because there, you're going to get feedback from maybe in ways that the 1% club you're dealing
Mhm.
with may not have. I don't want to say the insight, but maybe because you're dealing with one group. Now you might hear it from some other group of, hey, wait a minute, your patch might conflict with
Mhm.
the colors of another club in the area, or
Yeah.
weird little thing.
Yeah, because
Things like that, so-
you don't want to just think, oh, I don't want to be like if you're designing your patch and your colors,
Sure.
I don't want it to match, just the one percenters. But there's also a lot of other clubs that 99 percenters, whatever ministries, and if they were there before you, then you really don't want to be matching their colors,
Right. Oh no, of
unless
course
you
not.
want to start a fight in that respect. So that's a good avenue. And like I was saying, I was there for that, which is still in its own right intimidating, being in front of like
Sure.
50 clubs versus one. So you got to come prepared. Know what you're going to say, what you're presenting, who you are, and all that sort of stuff. Um, so yeah, I mean that would be my input on it.
My only thing to wrap up this is to say if you're going to present to a 1% club, and if you're whether you're forming an RC or an MC, you really have to do this. I mean,
Oh yeah.
RCs don't get a pass on this, right?
If
So,
if you want to do it, you want
The
to
right
do
way,
it the right way and not have anybody giving you crap
right,
later
yeah,
down the road.
cause problems down the road.
Yeah.
And it's something that I think people tend to be really nervous about, and I don't know if I want to do it, and just do it because it's
Yeah.
smart too. It's good protocol, but now it puts you on it. Once you get approved, and assuming you get a blessing, now you're in with it opens more doors for you
Yeah.
because other things become less stressful,
Yeah.
right? But it is important to do, and when you're doing it, just have all your ducks in a row.
Yeah.
Make sure you know what you're doing. Make sure that you're confident in knowing your club's history, what you're about, why you're a new club. I mean, have answers for these things already in your head. You need it. You don't want to go present to a club and have a I don't know or we'll
Yeah.
get back to you.
Definitely.
That's bad. So yeah,
And you'll get a lot more respect too doing
Sure.
it because now you're jump in front of everybody, like saying this is what we want to do instead
Yeah.
of trying to do it, behind doors and people are like, what the heck's going on over here?
Right.
So I think that is a big weight
For sure.
to get off your shoulders.
Yeah.
So,
Well, cool.
yeah.
If you haven't done so already, please right down below there, click the like and subscribe and notifications. That way you get our videos. These videos come out every Friday. We talk about Biker Protocol. And if you haven't done so, please leave a comment on the video. So if you have any questions or
Mhm.
like other videos that you want us to do, we'd love to hear from you. And, tell us about your experience, maybe if you've ever presented to a 1%. We'd love to hear about that
Yeah.
too, with your club. So we wrap up our videos with a shot every week.
Yeah.
I'm bringing a new poison this week. This is
Slimer green.
oh no, it's like radioactive stuff. It is Mr. Stack's sour apple. So there we go. Cheers.
Green.
I don't know if this
Sour
comes from
apple.
the
That
camera.
might not be too bad.
No, bad. Oh man. Holy
Tastes like
crap.
those caramel sour apple lollipops. They have like the
Wow, is that
caramel
sour?
over the,
Oh
not that
man,
bad.
I thought it
Actually,
was not as bad as some of the other stuff. But wow, is that
very
sour?
sweet, but
Ah,
sour.
Thanks again for watching because I'm dying over here.
Peace.
Peace out. We'll see you on the next video.